Welcome to Perspective with Kaylee Phillips, the safe space to get deep, break through, and find alignment. Here we prioritize wholehearted self-love, passion-driven careers, and living your absolute best life. You're here for a reason, so jump into the good energy, put your rose-colored glasses on, and tune in for massive impact and growth. I'm your host, KP, ready to release perfect and welcome perspective. The beans are spilled. The secret is out. These are my 5 golden tips to living in alignment. These 5 categories, having a check next to each of them, will bring you that full picture fulfillment, full picture happiness, full picture goal achievement. The key is that there needs to be something in each of these 5 categories because the biggest block that I see people experience with new goal achieving and new goal setting is compartmentalizing. Saying, once I lose this weight, then I'll feel happy. Once I start eating healthy or eating right, then I will let myself buy the new clothes. Once I sign a new client, then I'll feel confident in my business. All of these collaterals, putting our happiness and our fulfillment and our self-worth up for collateral against one superficial, compartmentalized goal. And we convince ourselves over and over and over again that once this one piece of the puzzle is put in, everything will be fine. As if, when you're doing a puzzle and you're searching for that one corner piece or that one missing piece in a certain section, it's like convincing yourself that once you put in that one piece, the puzzle will be done and you don't have to do the rest. It's just silly. We need a full picture experience. We need every single piece in order to have a complete puzzle. And sometimes that can feel really overwhelming. But in reality, the overwhelming scenario is when you put all of your eggs in one basket and all of your self-worth and all of your happiness in this one category. Because at the end of the day, that is not what's going to bring you happiness. What's going to bring you happiness is a full picture alignment experience, having a well-rounded, healthy balance of prioritizing all of the things that matter most. And there are 5 categories, my 5 golden rules for alignment. When you have something in each of these 5 categories in alignment with your focus, with your intention, with your full gratitude and full attention, you will feel that full body experience. And we are going to go through those 5 categories, and you are going to be able to walk away with deep reflection, understanding, am I prioritizing everything that needs my attention and my love in order to feel happiness, or am I compartmentalizing? And have I even thought about each of these 5 categories as a priority, or have I been so focused on hustling in work, or so focused on getting the dream body, or so focused on one thing that I forgot to prioritize all of the other things that make me who I am and make me special? 5 simple categories, enough to it's only what you count on your hand, nothing more, nothing less. 5. You can do this. This is the first part. You need to understand and fully believe that you are 100% capable of this, because it's so easy to give up. It's so easy to give into the victim mentality and the simplicity of saying, oh no, I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm okay. It's fine. Like what I said in my YouTube video when I challenged myself to wake up with the sunrise every day and go for that walk every morning in the sunrise. I used to say, I don't care to be a morning person. I don't care about having a morning routine. That's not for me. I like to sleep in. I like to have a chill morning, which is a lovely thing to want, and there's nothing wrong with it, but that was not my truth. That was my excuse. That was my mask, because I have always really wanted to be a morning person. I have admired the morning routine lifestyle, getting started with the sun, but I never thought I was capable of it, and I never thought I could really do it. So instead of owning, I don't believe in myself to do this, and I don't believe in my ability to be sustainable with that, and instead of admitting I would love to do this, but I'm scared of failing, I just hid behind I don't want that. And that realization was huge, because it was really shining a light on my lack of confidence in myself, my lack of self-trust, and my lack of confidence in I can do hard things. I can do whatever I want. I'm in control of my reality. And there are limiting beliefs that are clearly holding me back. A habit has been built that is holding me back from being able to achieve this. The habit of hearing my morning alarm, triggering my mind to hear it's too early, I need more sleep, I'm not ready, this is a bad thing. That habit of just the alarm is a bad thing continued this cycle of I can't be a morning person. I had to break that habit right at the root, right at the start. When that alarm goes off, this is a good thing. This is a fun thing. This is an opportunity. This is an exciting thing. Change that perspective, change that habit, redirect that mindset path from instead of going, alarm goes off, I feel negativity, I feel bad mood, I'm going to go in this direction of sleeping in. Instead, I hear that alarm, I'm in a good mood, I hear positivity, I hear opportunity, I hear excitement, and I'm going to start this. I'm going to rebuild this habit into a positive direction, into a positive perspective. Once I was able to do that and really admit to myself, I can be confident in this. I can give myself the chance. And the important part is, even if after that challenge, I'll be so real with you guys, I have not woken up with the sunrise every single day since I did that challenge on YouTube, but I gave myself the chance. I gave myself the opportunity to see what it could be like. I put myself in there. I inserted myself into the habit, into the goal, and said, I'm going to give this my all. I'm going to give this life, full picture life, not even just talking about this goal, but in general, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to put myself into things that challenge me, that excite me, that light up my questions and my uncertainty and my leaving my comfort zone. I'm going to put myself in the room that challenges me and leave my comfort zone because it makes me a better person. It builds my willpower, it builds my curiosity, it enhances my experiences, and it makes me a better person. So in my multiverse, there's different versions of me. There's the version of me that always slept in forever and never broke that habit, never worked through that limiting belief that I was not capable of it, never worked through that mask of, oh, I just don't want it. It's fine. I'm just going to surrender to the victim of, oh, no, I can't be a morning person. It's not for me. There's that path. There's the path where I hustled and forced myself to wake up every morning because I believed that that is what you had to do in order to be successful. You have to wake up every single morning, no matter how you feel, no matter how sick you are, no matter how much you don't feel like it. You have to force yourself to get up. There's that version. And then there's the version of me where I said, I'm going to have an open mind, an open heart, and I'm going to pour excitement and joy and possibility into this fun goal of, can I be a morning person? Can I experience what it's like to start my day with the sun? I'm going to romanticize the hell out of it. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to learn about myself. I'm going to journal the whole time. And I'm going to put myself out of my comfort zone because I have that freedom and I only live once and I'm going to enjoy it. That's the path I chose to take. And ever since doing that challenge, I can promise you that every single time my alarm goes off, I now associate it with fun. I associate it with growth, with possibility, with opportunity. I don't have that resistance to the alarm anymore. I don't wake up at the crack of dawn every day because that was not a sustainable habit for me that excited me, and that's so valid. You don't have to be a morning person. You can, but you can also sleep in and you can do anything you want in between. It's your life, you're in control. But what I want to urge you to do, my point in saying all this, is don't let yourself sit in your comfort zone forever and never try anything new, never push your boundaries, never push your limits, never explore outside of what's comfortable. And don't go the opposite direction either of forcing yourself to do all the things to be the perfect person, the perfect habits, the perfect everything. Morning, greens, running every day, working out 3 times a day, hustling in your business, never sleeping, never touching social media. There's balance. There's important balance. And what matters most is these 5 things that we're about to go through. Now, I know I went on a little tangent there, but my top priority in everything I share on all of my social media platforms and my podcast here is your happiness and your mental health and your self-love. That's what matters. When we take away all the goals, the tangible things, the luxury, the money, all of the big goals, when we just come down to who we are as people, if we took away all of it and all we had left was ourselves, what's left? The love, the passion, the intention, who we are, right? Who we are at our core. So, yes, it's amazing to achieve goals and have wins and have accomplishments and have success stories. Of course it is. That's what pushes us. But why does that matter? It's not the end goal. It's not the award ceremony. It's not the success in itself. It's the journey. It's who we became on the way. It's what we learned on the way. It's all of the things in between. It's the beautiful magic that happens inside of us and on the journey, so much more than the end result. So, as we're talking about these 5 categories, we're about to go through these 5 golden rules and everything in alignment and habit pursuit and goal pursuit. My priority is your happiness. your fulfillment, your self love. That is where my priority lies. So let's go through these 5 rules. We have 5 categories that need fulfillment, that need your love and attention. The first one is your mental health. Your mental health needs to be a priority. Mental health is a wonderful conversation now, and I'm so happy about it because years ago, mental health was not talked about. It just wasn't. It wasn't a priority. It wasn't something that we were openly sharing about depression and anxiety and struggles that we had. So every day, I need you to be doing something prioritizing your mental health. And that looks different for everyone. It really is all about you. Every single one of these is all about you. And this is why I ditch 75 hard so hard, because it's crazy and a little silly to think that one challenge can work for every single person out there. That's just not how it works. It's not possible. We need to have customization, personalization based on our own interests, our belief systems, our morals, our schedules, our lifestyles, and our trauma and our history and our mental health and the patterns that we're going through and the original things that we are experiencing. So it's silly to think that this one challenge can work for everyone. But I know it works for some people, and that's awesome, as it should, but it doesn't work for everyone. So my goal here is to create something that works for you, that is built on a trusted, aligned foundation, built on alignment, built on these 5 rules, but customized to you based on your experience. So mental health. How can you prioritize your mental health? Some of my favorites: daily meditation, daily journaling, setting boundaries, setting healthy boundaries, making it a habit to set boundaries in conversations, making it a habit to say no, making it a habit to get up in the morning. And by get up in the morning, I don't mean get up early. I just mean get up in general, get moving, get out of bed. I know when I'm struggling with mental health, when I went through one of my lowest of lows, one of the hardest things was simply to get up, because you just want to stay in bed. You just want to stay in your room. You just want to stay comfortable and not move. So one of the best habits to build is simply getting yourself up, even if that's just walking to the kitchen or like doing a simple stretch and taking a simple shower and then going back to bed. The act of getting yourself up builds so much willpower that's not even just about the act of standing up in itself, but that standing up builds the willpower to then reproduce in other areas of your life and the other habits that you will continue to build as you heal your mindset and heal your mental health and grow throughout your life. So prioritizing your mental health is number one. Sometimes that's going to therapy. There's so many different ways to prioritize your mental health, but my goal for you is to pick one thing, just one thing that you can promise yourself you will do every day, something that's sustainable for you, something that's built on your priorities, where you're at right now. One thing to prioritize your mental health every day. Reflect on that and see what it is that you can do to prioritize your mental health. The second part, number 2, the second golden rule is your self care. This is different from your mental health because this often is protecting your body, and this is something that you can come back home to no matter what. When your mental health is low, when challenges come up, when relationships are struggling, when your career is struggling, when you're going through life changes, what is the one thing you can come home to? It's not a person, it's not the job, it's nothing tangible like that. It's something that you create on your own that no one else is involved in. It's you, you, and you. Just you, yourself, and you. The one thing you can come home to is your self care practices. Sometimes this is bodily, sometimes this is more of a mindset thing. For me, my self care that I always can come back to is my time at night and my time in the morning to do my skin and hair care. That is a time with no phone, just being with myself, taking care of my skin and hair. And that makes me feel alive. It makes me feel more beautiful. It makes me feel like valued and feel like I am shining love on myself. That is one of my most important self care habits. But there's so many different ways to practice self care. Sometimes that's like a reading time, having a you hour, having a creative time, taking a bath. So, again, this is something that I want you to be able to promise yourself you can do every single day for your self care. And it can be a micro goal, it doesn't have to be something huge because we want it to be sustainable. Your third golden rule is your nourishment. I'm going to say it again and again. This looks different for everyone. For me, my nourishment goal is being gluten and dairy free because this is important for my chronic illness, but that's just me. This doesn't have to be a diet for everyone. I know for my partner, this centers around limiting sugar. And actually, the reason that I created these 5 rules was because of my partner and I, which you can follow this journey on YouTube. I'm doing a 5-week series where I follow this journey and share the vulnerable, raw parts of our story and what I've been creating. But these 5 rules were created because I noticed a constant pattern and a constant loop that we were getting trapped in of trying to make a change for our bodies, for our mental health, for the full picture. You know, you're not happy with how your body looks, you're not happy with the food you're eating, you're not happy with your mental health, you're not happy with your sleep schedule, we can't just focus on one thing and say, once I cut out sugar, all of this will get better. Or once I wake up early, all of this will get better. It needs to be a full picture. And we were struggling because we kept trying 75 hard over and over again, which is very focused on physical movement. There are multiple pieces to it, yes, but it is very focused on 2 workouts a day and no snacks. And that was very, very challenging for us to build. It wasn't sustainable, and we would always fall short around week 2. Around day 14, 15, it would fall apart. And then that creates a lot of negative self-talk and like you've failed. It feels like you failed when you haven't. You have not failed. You just weren't set up for success in the beginning. But the amount of times that we went through that cycle, I was like, okay, we need to make a change. And we tried so many different cycles, different 30-day habits, 30-day challenge, do this, do that, cut out this for 30 days, juice cleanse for 7 days. We tried so many different things. And it wasn't until we sat down and stayed up almost all night where I asked her all the important questions. We went through her alignment in depth. We went through the experience. We did case study after case study. We went through old pictures, old videos, old thought patterns. We took ranking of how mental health was compared to what movement levels were and what nourishment levels were and what self-care levels were. We went through everything for her and I. And then I created this 5-week plan for her based on these 5 rules of alignment. And it has finally worked. I'm finally seeing her thrive and set herself up for success and feel successful and build her willpower, build her self-confidence because of this 5-week plan, these 5 categories being prioritized. And it's wonderful. It's just amazing. It's so amazing to see and witness and be a part of, and I'm doing it too. And the coolest part is we're both doing our own thing. We're both on our own path, but we are also doing the same thing because we're both grounded in these 5 rules. But for example, nourishment for me is cutting out gluten and dairy. Nourishment for her is cutting out sugar. Nourishment for you might be drinking enough water. It might simply be eating 3 meals a day. It might be cutting out coffee. It might be limiting to 1 coffee. It could be just having breakfast in general. A lot of people struggle with having breakfast. It could be learning portions. It could be learning what foods you like and what foods you don't. Simply cooking more. I love that one. Just simply cooking more because we eat out so often or we DoorDash so often. That's one that we're healing too. We did a lot of DoorDash, which kind of ties into like planning your meals ahead and taking care of it. Or it could just be grocery shopping more often or meal planning or meal prepping. It can be so many different things, but as long as you are promising yourself to make a commitment to your nourishment every day in some capacity, big or small, I am so proud of you and you are doing it. You are doing it. And there is a science, there's psychological reasoning behind all of this that I will say sum up at the end so it'll all make sense. But trust me when I say it doesn't have to be something crazy. It doesn't have to be this huge goal that feels insurmountable and it feels overwhelming and heavy. It should feel simple. It should feel like you are aligned with it. It should feel like magnetizing, like, yes, I want to do this and I feel good about this and it feels exciting. Your 4th goal, your 4th prioritization is your movement, moving your body. This is so different for my partner and I. For me, this is all about walking. This is getting my 10K steps a day. I love walking. I love going outside. I love walking with Mason. For her, this is building a Pilates habit. Those are completely different movement goals. For you, movement could literally be stretching, and you can do stretches in bed. I think that's so fun. I'll make a video one day of stretches that you can do in bed. That's just like so simple and easy. It could be walking, it could be dancing, it could be dancing around your house, it could just be a simple stretch on the couch, it could be a full workout, it could be doing a HIIT workout, it could be joining a new class, trying a new workout class in person, like joining a yoga studio or something. As long as you are prioritizing moving your body, because it's so important to move our bodies, it enhances our energy, it enhances our self-love, it feels good, it helps you feel better, it helps you show up for your work and your career and your other areas so much better. One promise you can make to yourself to prioritize your movement every day. And my 5th category, the 5th, and honestly one of my favorites, I mean they're all my favorite, but the 5th one, the last rule for your alignment is your passion fulfillment, doing something to fulfill that beautiful heart and soul. I mean, how could I leave out your passion? This is everything that I talk about, everything my business was built on. Following your heart and soul is so important. Now, I know some of us are in careers that don't light us up, so maybe this is finding your passionate career and tying your career into your daily habits. What can you do every day to find your passion career, find where you belong in this world, find the good that you can put into the world. But maybe it's not about that. Maybe your job is fine, you're not ready to leave that job yet, and you want to do something just outside of that. Like maybe for me, my passion isn't actually connected to my business at all. It's about getting back into dance because I love dance. I have loved dance since I was a kid and I've fallen out of it since graduating in high school and moving on into adulthood, I've just not danced as much, and getting back into dance is something that really lights me up, and it fuels my business and fuels my mental health and fuels all these other areas of my life, and it makes me feel great. So I'm getting back into dance, and that's great for me. But for you, maybe this is like finding a side passion, like, I don't know, getting a Cricut or starting an Etsy shop, or um, knitting or embroidery or something with your hands, or maybe you have a passion for something else, like animals, like maybe like you want to start dog sitting or something, just something simple to light you up and make you happy. Maybe this is drawing or painting, something artistic. Maybe you have a passion for a specific cause in the world where you want to like join a group or join some type of activist movement, something that you can do, something you can do online or in person. Finding something that lights you up, something that excites you and lights your soul on fire, because this is going to fuel all the other areas of your life. Now, the psychology, the reasoning behind my method here, with one promise you can make to yourself in each of these categories, the method behind the madness is you are building your willpower, you are building your self confidence, and you are building your self love when you are saying yes to yourself every single day in a small promise you can make to yourself each day. Because the difference is with 75 Hard and other big challenges like that, you have this huge plate, this huge agenda that starts on day one, and you have a lot of things to cover. And that can decrease your self confidence and decrease your willpower if you're not able to show up for it, which is very rare because it's hard to build sustainable success with something that is so rigid and hardcore. And for us soft living girlies, our slow living girlies, it's just hard to jump into something like that. And you are valid for that. That doesn't make you less. It doesn't make you less successful. It doesn't make you less capable. It just means that you're different. That's how your brain works. And that's a beautiful thing. That's how my brain works too. The reason you make one promise to yourself is as you say yes to that promise and you fulfill that promise each day, you will feel naturally called to build on it. It will happen organically and naturally. As you say yes to your steps every day, just walking outside every day, you'll start to feel like I can do more of this. As you practice self care each night, even if that's simply remembering to brush your teeth, which is very hard sometimes on low mental health days, that will build naturally as you're able to make that promise and say yes to yourself and build it over time organically. More will be infused. You'll be able to say, now I'm doing this, I'm ready to add another layer to it, and progressively you will become the best version of yourself through saying yes to yourself, yes to yourself. And all of it is rooted in the abundance that's already present in your life. It's not rooted in lack. Where am I not enough? I'm not enough in my movement, I have to hustle. It's not rooted in lack, it's rooted in abundance. What do I love? What can I promise myself? And over time, you will naturally start to promise yourself more and say yes more and fulfill yourself more. And it's all rooted in this abundant growth instead of rooting in a lack that we need to fill a void. There's no void. You are beautiful as you are. You are perfect as you are. And it's time to grow. You are beautiful as you are. And it's time to expand the beautifulness that's already inside of you. You are abundant today. And it's time to say, yes, universe, more just like this, more abundance just like this. And that's where this is rooted. The reason it's a 5-week experience is it's really fun because we started by saying, which are you most confident in yourself in pursuing, and which has the most impact on all the other ones. For example, me starting dance again, getting back into dance, it's amazing, but it doesn't really have too big of an impact on my self care, for example, or my nourishment. But on the other side of the coin, my nourishment has a huge impact on everything else, because when I'm nourishing myself and I'm taking care of what goes into my body and I'm practicing the diet that's required for my chronic illness, I am directly fusing my ability to show up for my mental health because I feel better, my energy is better, and I'm setting myself up for success in my dance and in my ability to move. So that one really fuels everything else. Same thing with my mental health. When my mental health is in check, everything else falls into place a lot easier because my mental health does have an impact on everything else. You know what I mean? And with that ranking, I created a formula to then put it into an order of 5 weeks to set us both up for success based on confidence, highest to lowest, combined with impact, highest to lowest. And this formula set us up so that during week 1, we are fully focused on one goal. So, for example, during week 1, I was completely focused on my mental health, and I journaled every single day for my mental health, and that was all I did during week 1. Then during week 2, my nourishment came into play. So now that I've built that mental health habit, now it's time to add in the nourishment. So during this past week 2, I had my mental health already built, journaling every day continues, and now we throw in the nourishment. Then during week 3, mental health and nourishment are a go, they're going good. We're going to throw in the self-care. So now I have all 3 of these, and then we bring in the next one, we bring in the next one, so that by week 5, all 5 of these habits have been stacked on top of each other, and we have grown our confidence over time because we started with what we were most confident and trusting in ourselves in, and we started with the biggest impact, so that everything naturally falls into place and they naturally flow into each other, and we are building trust, building self-trust, building self-love, building self-confidence, building self-worth, building willpower over each week, feeling so confident in ourselves and allowing time to be reflective. Nothing is set in stone. If we realize, okay, this is not sustainable, like for example, me cutting out sugar, it's not sustainable. I love a sweet treat. I love to prioritize that fun part of my life. I don't want to cut out sugar forever. We're going to change this goal to limiting sugar, for example. We are very reflective throughout, whereas in these other challenges, it's like day 1, you start all of these things and this is what you stick to. And that can be very aggressive. It can be harmful to your self-trust. Simply, it can be harmful to your self-trust and harmful to building your self-confidence. And my goal, like I said in the beginning, my goal is your happiness and your mental health and your fulfillment, your self-love. That is my priority. And so this 5-week plan sets you up for that success. And this is honestly the most excited I've ever been about something I've created. And I think the best stories and the best passionate creations are made from a personal story. This personal story where my partner and I felt this lack and we had this huge problem, so we fixed it together and I created something to fix it. So this isn't something that was just created to make money or created to be a business. This was created to help the person I love most and help see her thrive and make her life better. And now I get to share it with all of you because I want to make everyone's lives better through this plan. So these are the 5 rules. Let's go through them again. Mental health, self-care, nourishment, movement, and passion. They don't have to go in that order. The order is up to you and your confidence and the impact those things have on all other areas of your life. 1 promise to yourself in each of those categories, just 1 promise to yourself. 5 total habits, and they stack on top of each other over time. I have created 5 to Thrive. These 5 rules over 5 weeks will lead you to absolutely thrive. And this is the most excited I've ever been in my life, I think. I think this is just the most excited I've ever been in general. I am so honored and excited to be able to share something this valuable and meaningful with you guys. 5 to Thrive, 5 weeks. We start on June 3rd. You can join me in 5 to Thrive. Become a part of a community of people going through the same thing as you that have had the same experience, the mindset blocks, the struggles, trying to build the habits and falling back, trying to figure out what habits are toxic and what habits are healthy and make the best decisions for yourself. You are not alone in this experience, and now you have the opportunity to put yourself in the room with me and all the other people that have been on the same journey and are ready to commit to their alignment. And I will guide you through your 5 weeks. I am there for you every single step of the way. You have guidance to figure out what your 5 weeks are, guidance to figure out your order, guidance on each of your categories and how to implement each of your categories for success, guidance on each of your 5 weeks individually to hold you accountable, hold your mindset high, and boost your confidence. You have my accountability. You have live calls with me every single week to check in, have a coffee chat, tell me how it's going, tell me where your gaps are, tell me where you need support, tell me what's hard for you, what's been easy for you, celebrate your wins, and you have community access to chat with other people in the community, chat with me, ask me questions every single day for the 5 weeks. Plus, you have bonus access to the community for 3 whole months. So you can be with the community and coming to live calls for 3 months, which means you can start your 5 weeks over. You can give yourself a chance to dip on one of the weeks and start again because I want to set you up for success and I want to allow you to reflect and start fresh. You're not perfect, neither am I. So you have 3 whole months access to the community and you have lifetime access to all of those resources. So 3 months to be a part of the community and part of the live calls and lifetime access to all of the resources, all of the videos, all of the trainings, all of the guidance, daily journal prompts every single day for your 5 weeks, weekly reflection guides, weekly intention setting guides. You are completely set up for success. This is exactly the plan that my partner and I followed that actually worked for us. We said F75 hard, F all the other challenges. I'm creating something that's going to work because it's rooted in you. It's rooted in what matters most to you, what makes you who you are. and it prioritizes your mental health, your self-care, your nourishment, your movement, and your passion. And you are on the forefront. You are what matters most. You can read all about 5 to Thrive in the description below, and you can join me today. You get a special discount by being the first members ever a part of 5 to Thrive. You get a very, very special discount, and you get to be the first people ever involved, which is just huge. And there are so many fun bonuses inside, like the coolest bonuses I've ever done. You'll have to see when you get inside, but seriously, this is the most excited I've ever been for something. You don't want to miss out on this first round, because this first round of people are going to be very lucky with amazing resources and amazing bonus gifts directly from me. We start June 3rd. Get in at the pre-sale price, a very special number. Get in at the pre-sale price. You can use Klarna at checkout to pay over 4 months. So there's payment plans. It makes it accessible to you. You don't have to pay it all right away. And it's going to be amazing. That is all I can say. It's going to be life-changing. I am so beyond excited for 5 to Thrive, and it's finally here. We start on June 3rd, so we are going to spend the whole summer together. June through August, you have 3 months access to 5 to Thrive, which means you and I are spending the whole summer together. How exciting is that? This is going to be your summer glow up. This is going to be your summer era. This is going to be the era where you make a change, where you change your life for the best. And I am so excited to have you inside. 5 to Thrive, we start June 3rd. Pre-sale is live now and will end on June 3rd. So make sure you get in now so you can reserve a spot to be one of the first people ever inside of 5 to Thrive. I am so excited. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my community. I wouldn't be here without you, and I'm so grateful for you. And the best thing I can do to show my gratitude is to help you change your life through 5 to Thrive. I promise it is going to be amazing, beyond your expectations. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in today. Love you all.